want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I pissed so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like blah, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. With that, let's get on up to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. For the call, we bring in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
I'm actually old enough to remember him hitting the league, and so many people are talking about his throwing motion at the time. A little bit unorthodox. No one talks about it anymore except in admiration. The ball gets to the target really well, and usually with big production.
Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Ready! 180!
Let's go, D.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
They go play action. Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. But now it's third down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
Eric Berry's the textbook definition of ball-hawking safety. You name it, he can do it on the football field.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Let's go, V, let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Black 15! Give me that ball!
On 1st and 10, Rivers. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Rivers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 3. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Steps away. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Roberts got it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Ready? Round 80! I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Not today.
They'll run it now out of the gun. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down. And I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They begin things in much better field position than their opening drive as they come up 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They're running it.
2nd and 11. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 21.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Let's go now. 54. 54 Mike.
Here's Breida. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A carry for the nearby collegiate star, Indiana's Jordan Howard. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Where'd he go?
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Out to his left. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it.
Black 11!
Double time. Everyone's got four.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Let's go, baby.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
No, check that.
On play action, Rivers. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field. Because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Black 15!
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Now Rivers, middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, in a great play for that defensive unit. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Running the sweep, Hilton with it. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And Pascal's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Blue down, blue down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. That was shades of Tennessee Volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Rivers. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. Rivers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
You better be ready.
Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Emmanuel Ogbah just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Rivers to throw it. Open man is Trey Burton. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Frank Reich here on 4th down is ready to try for 3. This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Set, ready, 60 out low, 54. I got one. Set, ready.
Out of bounds at the 38-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Set, go to base. Check back 54. Line 54. Hold.
Now it's Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Rivers now from the 50. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. There he goes right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Sanders on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Let's go, buddy.
Phillip Rivers as he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Kill.
On first down, it's Wilkins looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Watch the pass. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Looking to throw on second down. Rivers, wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Get 180! I ground 80!
A first down throw here for Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw, Rivers. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Third and long for Rivers. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 35-yard line. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 27-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
All right, set 180.
Check 55 to Mike.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Behind.
To the outside, that's complete to Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And this one is right through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Let's go.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 38-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was looking for Matt Breida out of the backfield, and now it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Let's go, defense.
He'll look to throw. And it's caught by Parker. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 62 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6.
Makes the score Dolphins 21.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. Have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Mike 52. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike 52.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Rivers. Hey, right on cue, they set up the screen and complete it. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And it's second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10.
We ain't giving up nothing.
Second and 10. Roberts got it. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
On play action, they'll throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Danico Autry able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here. 1st and 10. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Well, here's a 1st down throw that's complete. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it 24-13. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Watch the screen.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Rivers. He's got Jack Doyle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Tech, Green 80, Black 15. Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 36-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Rivers to throw it. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Rivers now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Off the play fake here, Rivers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll throw again. Rivers. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
Throwing Rivers. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. From 8 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Now here's Rivers. He'll bring his guys up, and they'll go for the 2-point conversion.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Wait, 89.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 2nd and 14. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going.
Second and 9. Now with got going a little early. Captain, of course, and that moves him.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Wilson has it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 44-yard line. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That'll be complete to Breida. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
It's a gain of 8.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Running with Howard. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. This is Breida on the draw. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Caught. It's Wilson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. And as they come to the line this third quarter, we'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Sanders on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Now Rivers firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing, Rivers. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's third down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The Colts on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 2. Rivers now. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rivers again. He'll check this down to Hines. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. High throw, but the catch is made. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? First down, Rivers. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Rivers with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. To the air again here, Rivers. A good throw here, finding Pascal. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patches, I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. To throw, Rivers. Complete to Hilton. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game. And on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He gets it to Brown, complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Antonio Brown, AB, with just one hand to complete that catch. Is there anything he can't do?
He has just continued to impress year after year, hasn't he?
He has never forgotten that he wasn't considered an elite receiver coming out of college. I think every snap he takes it upon himself to prove that he should have been.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
From the gun, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs, needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far. Big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Play action now. Rivers throwing right, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
180.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Now Rivers. He's got Burton here. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Trey Burton, 40 yards. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over, I guess.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Here we go.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They go counter with Breida. And an alley to run. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They run with Howard, and he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 39.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. They're going to look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts coming out now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now Rivers. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. Rivers. He's got Jack Doyle, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Rivers to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Set 180, block 15. So we got man.
Here's Rivers. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield.
Holding.
Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Again, it's Rivers. This one into the hands of Burton. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Set 180, 52. Hey.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rivers. And the catch made by Hilton. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brings up 3rd and 11.
And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
at their own 27-yard line.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Now a first throw here in overtime. Rolling to his left. He may try and run for this. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running from the gun with Howard. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Ready? 4, Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Let's go. Let's get this ball back to the offense. Let's go. Shift.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Back to throw. That'll be complete to Breida. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hand to let him work his magic.
Here's Matt Hawk now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field.
White 90. White 90. 52's the mic. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Gonna give this time to the tailback. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
44, Mike, 44.
What can Rivers do in the OT? They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This is Breida. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
it is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Hey, Brown 80! 52's the mic. White! Not hot! Hot!
They go play action. Rivers. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indy. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Walker picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Rivers on first down. Complete to Hilton. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Here we go, D. Wait, 89.
Play action now. Rivers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On the ground, it's Mack. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
A third and inches, you pretty much expect to see straight-ahead runs, and this one doesn't quite go that way. And it certainly didn't help him trying to pick up a first down.
Yeah, tried to get to the outside, lost yardage. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. "35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. And now it's second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And an alley to run. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. They'll go to the air here on third and 2. He gets it to Brown, complete. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On the delay, here's Breida. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Normally, that's not the down and distance that you call a draw play. You usually want to wait to second or third down with a definite passing situation before that play is dialed up.
Second and 11. And his throw here's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Let's go.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. So it all rests now on the right foot of Jason Sanders. And another timeout taken by the Colts. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So it all rests now on the right foot of Jason Sanders. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Indy.